What's up, guys? So this is going to be the start of a new series that I'm doing in which I'm literally going to be just documenting what I do daily in working with my clients. I've always held that I do a very unique thing in the business consulting realm in which this is not a business. I don't have, mentees, and I don't bring in, clients and turn them into mentors and advisors, and I'm not trying to grow this into a business. This is me, just me, as a consultant working with a multitude of different businesses all across the world, multiple different continents, mainly here in the US. And daily, I work with them. And I mean daily, if not, multiple times per week. We get on a call once a month, but then daily I'm there, like in their pocket, and I'm able to help craft a strategy and the tactics and the game plan for them to execute to solve their business problems. My goal is to get fired as quick as possible, so I want to do this as efficiently as possible. Like I want to get the problem solved in the fastest time that allows for it to be sustainable. And then once we've gone through all their problems and they can continue on autonomously, I want them to fire me, and then if shit ever pops off, they can come back. And I do this every day, and I've always been like, man, fuck, I should record this. This would be great content for everyone else who either just can't work for me, can't work with me, doesn't want to work with me, but is curious, can't afford it, I don't want to work with them, whatever it is. Like, for whatever reason we're not working together, I still feel like this information could be really valuable for you. So I'm going to start documenting these. Now, let's go ahead. I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through this right now. So this is a new client we just started working with, and at the end of every call, I provide these action items. And these action items, essentially, I tell people, when you get on a call with me, nothing happens on that call in terms of like solving your problem. What we do is we discuss the current problem at hand, we deep dive in it, and then I architect and engineer a strategy, and then I post up these action items. And these are action items that we've agreed upon that we are gonna work on and execute over the next 30 days to strike that problem. And we take this problem by problem by problem. So we're not spray and praying 30 different things at once, we're hammering one thing. So one of the things right now we have to do is we have to work on the org chart for this business. This business does not have an established org chart. We have an owner who's pretty much doing everything, but as he's looking to grow a team, he has got to establish an org chart. So one of the things I'm going to be having him do is we're going to create the current versus aspirational org chart. Any of you guys that are enrolled in Microgym University know what I'm referring to, but your current org chart is what actually exists in the business, and then the aspirational org chart is going to be what we want to create. Because when it comes down to your business, imagine like you went to sell the business one day, and let's create that analogy as if you were selling me a car. And I show up and I look at the car, and the car looks great. Like, great paint job. It's awesome looking from the outside. It looks great. But then I ask you to pop the hood, and I pop the hood, and I'm like, dude, there's a fucking dead raccoon in here. There's fucking bees in here. Like, what is going on in here? And that's how a lot of the org charts are, even in incredibly successful businesses that I get brought into. I'm gonna talk about gyms doing over $100,000 a month. And then I look at the org chart and it's like, holy shit, there's no structure here. It's like a bridge that people are going on every single day successfully, and the foundation is just fucking shaking. So again, the basis of every successful business is the people it's built upon, aka the org chart. So that's what we're gonna be working on fixing here. So I asked my client to go ahead, and we use, and this is the platform I use, my communication platform with my clients. This is why I don't answer my own emails. I have VAs that do that for me, but I'm in here all day, every day. This is like the one website, minus all these other fucking tabs I have up here, that I'm in every day. Now, I have them use a free service called Lucid App. It's great for creating like organizational charts or flow charts and things like that. So it's going to pull up here, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at what he came up with for his organizational chart, the current day version. All right, so as you can see, my man has got a pretty big staff. This is a big team. But if you'll notice, my man, and you probably can't see it if my guys have successfully edited this out, he is in all the managerial roles. So we have a managerial role here, 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 here. So besides his CEO one, which is, it's just fluff in a org chart, like when we're really the CEO, but we have every other job, it's just a silly title, but it's something we're going to aspirationally work towards. He's the GM, he's the sales manager, he's the marketing manager, boom, head coach, head performance coach, because he has group fitness and a sports performance side of his business, and then he's got this fucking army of part-time coaches, which is a problem. The biggest problem here, and a lot of you guys might not understand this, if you look at an org chart like this, like where he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 part-time coaches. That is the equivalent of the owner driving a short school bus where he's the only one driving. He's driving cross country throughout the night. He's exhausted. And he doesn't have anyone else to come ride shotgun with him, keep him awake, help navigate him, take over when he's tired. None of that. He just has a bunch of fucking part-timers in the back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Are we there yet? Oh my God. Like, that's what part-timers are within this kind of a scale for a small business owner. They are not as invested in the business, and rightfully so, because it's not how they make their living. It's not how they put food on their table. It is a way for them to scratch an itch. And that's what most part-time people in the fitness industry do. They love fitness. They don't love it enough to go all in on it, or they have a career that's good enough that they would never even consider a career in fitness because they would never make as much money, but they like to scratch that fucking itch. So they get a part-time job doing 8, 10, 12, whatever fucking number of classes per week or month at the gym, and it scratches the itch. They get a free gym membership. They still have some influence over people. It's a great break from their corporate job or whatever it is they do, and it works great for the part-timer. It works dog shit for the gym owner. Now, it's not that you can't have part-timers, but you need to have a very strong roster of full-timers. So one of the things we're going to be working on here is to revamp his org chart. Let's go take a look. So this is what I had him do. I had him do an aspirational org chart, or I'm sorry, a current day org chart. This is actually what's happening. And now let's see what happens when I look at his aspirational. All right, so here we are on the aspirational org chart. And if you can see, the number of part-timers has reduced. Probably hasn't reduced as much as I'd like. And I'm going to be able to include some backstory here. But what he has done, and you can't read it if my team's done this right and has fuzzied or blacked everyone's names out, we have started to input people's names that were down on that part-time list. And these are individuals that he believes would want to come full-time onto with the business, and he has started to plug other people in. So he is now letting go. Previously in the current day org chart, he was wearing all the managerial hats, every single one of them. Now he is starting to relinquish some control, and he's actually starting to develop a business versus a glorified job. Now, in this scenario, and this is where the lesson for today is going to start and kind of conclude, when I look at this org chart, right? I need context to everything. That's why when you guys send me a DM with like 4 sentences of your fucking problem like this, I can't help you because there's nuance in all this stuff. I'm looking at this org chart and I know this is split right down the middle. So right in here, it's split right down the middle between his 2 revenue streams. One of them is sports performance coaching. One of them is group fitness. The sports performance coaching constitutes 90% of his revenue. It is the moneymaker. The group fitness has been lingering. The backstory is he was able to take over a failing CrossFit gym that was in the same facility as his sports performance. He was able to bolt it on. It pays for itself. The revenue generated on those memberships versus the cost of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches is minimal, right? It's profitable, but it's not what he wants to do necessarily. It's not, it's distracting him at times from the core competency, which is sports performance coaching and working with athletes. So what do? We go ahead and in this scenario, again, this goes deep into the nuance. Every single one of these coaches that are currently coaching group, he inherited them when he took over that business. They have been around forever. Guess what? Do you think, and again, I'm not going to go into the amount of money that these people make, but I have it all broken down. We're talking like in the 3 digits below $500. We're talking like 180, 220, $300 a month is what, because they're that part-time. So in this scenario, the recommendation I'm giving, because these people have withstood the test of time, this CrossFit gym, by the way, had been sold 3 times prior. All right. Like, you want to talk about like your mom getting remarried and you have a new stepdad every 3 fucking years. Like, you're not my real dad. He's like, shut the fuck up and eat your mashed potatoes. Like that's what's happened. These coaches and these members, they're just those OG CrossFit members that live in the area. And as long as that location's here, they're not going anywhere. That's just how it is, unfortunately. So what I'm proposing is that we go to these coaches, we let them know in 2024, we have a new initiative. Our goal is to create real careers within the business because we have the cash flow to do it. And that's going to be in the form of management. Now, the management that we need is going to require a payroll budget of X. With that being said, we have to look at our two departments, sports performance and CrossFit Group Fitness, and we realize that CrossFit Group Fitness is literally bringing in less than 10% of the revenue. So effective on this date, we will be converting all coaches to an energy exchange model. Now, I am a huge fan of the energy exchange, a huge fucking fan. The reason being is because the energy exchange allows exactly that when done right. Anyone who's listening is like, no, you can't have energy exchange coaches. That's not professional. Oh yeah, you think any of these coaches making less than $500 a month and work full-time as an orthodontist assistant or at Bank of America are real professional coaches? Get the fuck out of here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna achieve what they want. They want a place to work out for free. They want to maintain their influence over the membership. Every coach, no matter what they tell you, they like the little bit of like authority that they have there. Many of them are at a corporate setting where they don't really have a lot of authority, and then they come here and they have authority and command of a room. They enjoy that. Again, they get to scratch that itch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna offer them an energy exchange. I don't know the exact model I'm gonna go with. Let's say that group fitness membership was $200 per month divided by, let's say we require 8 classes per month for them to complete. That is an effective pay rate of $25 per class, but it's an energy exchange, meaning we're gonna do an equal energy exchange no matter what. Well, Stu, what does that mean? Let me tell you. Let's say Coach Sally cannot coach all 8 classes. She's agreed to the energy exchange, but she's gonna be going out of town this month with her family for 2 weeks, so she can't get all 8 classes in. She comes to my client, the owner, and says, hey, I can't get all 8 classes in. He says, hey, no problem. So complete the 4 that you can, and then all you do is you owe me for 4 classes. Because that was the even energy exchange. I said 8 classes for you to get the free membership. If you can't do 8 classes, you just pay back the prorated difference. So she'd pay back $100. 4 classes at $25 a pop. Pretty simple. In the same breath, let's say my client, the owner, he gets the flu. One of his managers is also out for vacation, and another one gets whatever, just gets sick or some shit. He could always go to his energy exchange and say, hey, Coach Sally, I need some help we're short-staffed this month. Are you able to do 15 classes this month? And then all he would do is 15 minus 8, the difference there, times 25. It's real simple. Like, that's literally all he do. So what is it, 7 classes times 25? And then that's what he would pay her that month. It's always an equal energy exchange. Those of you guys who have had bad experiences, it's probably because you were a giant pussy and you had an energy exchange coach who you told, hey, you have to do 8 classes in order to get this membership. And they're like, yeah, but I can only do 5 this month. And you're like, oh, shucks. Oh, okay, Sally. Yeah, just try to get your 8 in next month. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go cry. Like, you just acted like a little pussy about this whole thing, and you let your staff kind of just run the show and tell you what's up, when it should have never been that way. They just pay the difference on what they can't do from an energy exchange. For my client here, my recommendation to take all of these guys, right? Boom, 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 and energy exchange them. I think that that's gonna save us a good amount of payroll. I don't have the exact number in front of me right now. I will be getting that to him, but that's gonna save us a solid chunk of payroll. And then, which is crazy because that much payroll for only 10% of the revenue just makes 0 sense. Then we're gonna take that payroll and what do you think we're gonna do with it? We're gonna reinvest it into just one of these managers. So this is my client's aspirational, these are the managers, all right? We're gonna choose one, and we're gonna have a very detailed discussion about this. Which manager are we choosing? Which position? Which one do we think we need the most right now? And then I'm gonna reallocate that payroll over to the new position. Now here's a worksheet that we use in order to do this. So this is a payroll reallocation worksheet. It's a very unimpressive Google spreadsheet that anybody can make. So you don't need to ask me for this. You can just literally create this. There's nothing special about it. But essentially we go ahead and we place the name of everybody who's currently on payroll, whether they're a W-2, a 1099, whatever it may be, even energy exchange. And technically, I guess we wouldn't need energy exchange in here because we're just talking about reallocating funds, but maybe just for the totality, like just having the entire team on there, I might throw them on there as well. The role, right? What specific role do they have in the business here? Are they W-2 or 1099? And I guess you could put energy exchange in there as well. And then what is their total monthly payroll? So this is the gross amount that you pay them for their actual wage, whether it's salary, performance-based, hourly, whatever it is. And then if they're a W-2, since you're paying taxes on that, how much is the tax? And a quick way for you guys to understand this is you can contact your CPA today and say, hey, listen, I'm just curious, for every $100, every $1,000 I pay one of my employees, what percentage of that am I paying in taxes, or what additional percent of that am I paying in taxes? And you might find, I think here in the States, for me, it's like, or in the States, in North Carolina, for every $100 I pay, I'm paying about $7 in taxes, so 7%. So that's kind of what it works out with all the different all the Social Security and all that shit that you pay with W-2 taxes. But ask your CPA based on your state. And then you put that amount here, okay? And the reason why we do a separate column for the payroll tax is because we don't have to do that with 1099s. So there are some roles when I'm doing allocations, if they're 1099s, if they're not as expensive to the business, I might make certain decisions as to whether we reallocate their money or not. Again, it all depends. There's also scenarios where I look at this and I have clients who are W-2ing people for roles within the business that do not need to be W-2'd. These are stuff that they could do at home, when they want, how they want, with their own equipment like a computer. And it's things that 100% could be a 1099 contractor job. For example, if you right now have a coach who's doing social media marketing for you and you're paying them as a W-2, that is a waste of fucking taxes. It's like this small role. This is not like a key player in your company. You could pay them as a 1099 and have them pay the taxes, because that 100% is a 1099 contractor position. At home, social media manager, you're posting, you're writing the copy, you're grabbing the photos, blah, 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 blah. Just like if you went on Upwork or Fiverr or you hired someone, you would 1099 them. I'm not your CPA, but this is a great auditing tool that I use when working with clients to also look at that kind of stuff as well. And then so we take their current, right? And then we start creating some proposed payroll reallocation scenarios, and we'll see the difference between the amount of money that we're spending now versus what we're going to spend here in the future if we move forward with that strategy. Hopefully you guys found that valuable. I'm now going to go ahead and record the video to send to my client via Loom. I use all Loom videos when I'm doing this with my clients. That way they see me every single day. They know I'm looking at their stuff. I'm working on their things. I don't do these, unlimited email support and tech support. Eat a dick. Fuck that. You're going to see my face. You're going to see the work I'm doing with you every single day, because I want you to know that I am 100% invested in solving this problem as quick as possible and making it so that no matter what happens in the future, if you ever have another problem, there's no one else that comes to your fucking head except for me. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to keep pumping out a handful of these. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I'll keep publishing it until I talk to you in the next podcast. Have a great fucking day. Is this a podcast? I don't know. I don't know if it's a podcast. It might be a podcast. Anyway, until you see in a video or you hear my mouth, blah, 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 on a podcast, have a great fucking day.